Alright, here we go. I'm Red Smitty, this is Living Outdoors, and this is Shed Stories. Telling you today about a deer called Shearbuck. I was out in 2007 with a buddy. We were hitting an area. I walked out with, I think, 4 sheds, a set and a couple singles. My buddy walked out with this set and I think 1 single. But we figured this is a good 2.5-year-old deer. Broke off that G3 on this side. Otherwise, boy, he would have been really nice and symmetrical. There's very tight curve on this antler. It's almost like a horseshoe. We walked out pretty happy. Arms were full of antlers that day. I thought I'd keep track of that area, get back over there in case this guy stuck around. And then in 08, I got back there, and sure enough, walked up on these bad boys. I first found this one. It's got a little bit of damage on the back. Got to him slightly late. Looked like maybe one squirrel had, I don't know, half an hour time on that one. But this one's all nice and clean. This one I found in his bed, maybe 70 yards from this one. I figured he dropped this one in the bed, got up, this one irritated him enough, he walked a little down a hill, whacked it on the side of an oak tree, and that's where I found it. But at this time, this year, he went 83 and 75. This 83, look at that, that's a 13-inch G3 on that side. That's just a beauty, man. He really started throwing on a lot of mass. It's getting a lot of color going on. It's really starting to look good. So sure enough, you know me, I'm going to keep track of that area and I'm going to continue hitting this deer as long as I can see him. This was 09. In 09, I was keeping tabs of him pretty closely. Trying not to go into areas too much where he was living. I didn't want to bump them out of there, and I surely don't want any other shed hunters to find these sheds. But luckily, I walked up on these guys on February 9th. They were laying side by side. I was able to get some as they lay photos. And they were so nice and close as they lay that I was able to get both antlers in the same frame as the lay photo. He went ahead and started growing that G5 on this side this year. Still going a lot. He's starting to bump out with a lot of fun stuff on the bases, color. His mass isn't really growing a lot, not as much as I thought and hoped it might, but he's still keeping on with them 27-inch mains, so that really helps him out a lot. In 010, I was no stranger to this guy. I was getting video footage of him, I was getting some stills, and I really had my hopes of getting this guy for the 4th year in a row. Around here, shed hunting is pretty competitive, and there's a lot of people out there looking, so you have to keep your spots a secret and don't tell anybody where they are. Luckily, I was able to find these. I found this first one probably 100 yards away from a ground blind. On February 4th, I found this. 13 days later, I was able to find this in a beautiful snow-covered setting. The as it lay photo looks just beautiful. It might be one of my best looking as they lay photos. But there he is in 010. He went as a complete set, no deductions in 07, 124 and 5. 08, he went to 158 and 7/8. In 2008, he had his biggest rack he had. In 2009, he went 156. In 2010, he went 154. You know, I was keeping my tabs on this guy again this year. After he dropped this rack, I was out there trying to see him grow some more, maybe try to get some velvet footage of him or something. I didn't see hide or hair of the guy anywhere. I don't know, maybe a he just moved to a different area. Maybe he got hit by a car. Maybe he died. Who knows what happened to him, but he wasn't around. Luckily for me, another big boy moved into this guy's territory, and I was able to pick up those sheds and get him on film, and he's got a couple 76ers on his head, so maybe another episode of Shed Stories and you'll see those sheds. So there he is, there's Sherbuck, awfully proud and happy and excited to pick up these sheds 4 years in a row. 5 would have been great, but it's hunting. And that's what happens when we're all hunting. Can never rely on anything. Can't count on anything. Just keep your fingers crossed and hope for the best. So until we get back out, I'm Red Smitty. I'm living outdoors. And if you ain't living outdoors, you ain't living.